Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of From the Pet World with me, producer Derek. I'm right now driving to our good friends at DM Exotics. Dan Mulleary is going to be sharing with us his amazing collection of exotic pets. Why don't you guys join us for a little bit? Hey Dan, I'm here. You think it's safe to come in?
Hey Derek, what's going on? Come on in.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you? I'm just doing a little spot cleaning. This guy just shed, so it's important to keep things tidy.
Very cool. Well, is this now a good time for you to show us around your snake room?
Yeah, for sure. Basically what we got going on, a lot of my bigger animals, my bigger breeder animals are in this wall, and the smaller stuff is across the way. These guys are smaller animals, so they can exist in smaller enclosures. And we'll get into it later. I'll show you a lot of the cool stuff that I have. But back here, this is kind of more of an industrial look. This is like the modular style. A lot of these animals are smaller, so they can coexist in these small boxes very comfortably. There's heat and everything in here, and it just kind of wraps around. I just have a lot of my surplus stuff back here. So that's basically it. Just my work area. Spend a lot of time out here.
You think we can get a little closer look on some of the reptiles you got?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's what it's called, a green cat snake. This one is a male. It's about 2 years old. They start off orange with a bright green head, and then as they grow, they turn into solid green. So this one's almost there, still kind of in the transition of the color change, but it'll get there soon. This is an eastern indigo snake. This one is not quite full grown. This is big male. And these are native to the US, to the southeastern United States. It's probably the biggest colubrid snake in the US. And it's obviously it's jet black, but big, strong snake. I just love these guys, they're so cool.
Dan, you've got some amazing creatures here in your little shop, but I want to know how you got started with reptiles.
Went on a camping trip. It's the typical story if you go interview lots of reptile people. It's always going to be the same. Camping trip, 9 years old, 10 years old, caught my first snake, garter snake, and it just grew from there. I just never outgrew it. This one here is one of my favorites. It's not a big snake, it's a smaller guy. It's called a paradise flying snake. One of the prettiest snakes on the planet, if you ask me. The reason they call it a flying snake is because it has the ability to flatten out that rib cage, and they can jump and leap off of stuff that's quite high off the ground, and they can actually catch some air and glide. And these snakes are really high strung. They're so confident in their ability to glide that they'll just jump off of anything. Like while you're holding it, if I don't keep a good grip on it, it'll just jump, just at any distance. It's not afraid.
So with your experience with all these reptiles, what's one of the key things you want other reptile enthusiasts to really take from this?
Well, while the animals, I guess you could consider a commodity, they're living things. You have to take care of them. I see a lot of people, they get into this and they're buying these animals and they just treat them as a commodity, something you breed and it'll make you money and everything else. But they're living things. They need to be taken care of. They need water. They need, the proper heat and husbandry and everything else. So, you got to respect them. They're living creatures. This next snake I'm going to show you is one of the highlights of my collection. There's very, very few of these in captivity around the world, and I'm lucky enough to have an actual decent sized group of these animals, and I hope to be able to breed these guys for the first time, hopefully next year. I'm getting real close. You can probably tell by the way I'm acting, I'm very deliberate, and I try to be very in tune with this animal when I'm holding it. Try to let the animal think that it's in control, which it kind of is in control. So that's Petius carinatus. giant keeled rat snake. All right, you've had enough.
Yeah.
You can go back home. Another snake that I have in my wide range in my collection. This is a Madagascar Ground Boa. And this particular one is extremely colorful. Really, really pretty. If you get a lot bigger than this, probably can do about 10 feet, 12 feet. But very, very pretty snake.
Now, it didn't happen overnight for you. The amount of reptiles you have in here, the variety of reptiles, how long has it taken to make it to this size? And this isn't like your average everyday reptile size. This is a passion. This is what you do every day. So I mean, how long has it taken you to get this big?
It's been bigger than this. It's been smaller, and it's always in flux. But I would say probably in my early 20s was when I kind of made the step to like expand and make it even bigger. But right now, because I'm a one-man show, this is about it. This is about as much as I can handle and you know, do justice to the animals and take good care of them. If I get more than this, then my amount of care gets shared even more and it gets thinned out. And so I just want to make sure that I can care for what I have.
Dan, I want to thank you so much for letting us into your reptile room. It's been a blast. There's some great creatures, and the love and passion you have for them really does show here, and I'm glad we can share it with everyone out there. But for you guys watching, I'll catch up with you guys back at the studio. Guys, that was a lot of fun. Dan has some amazing creatures in his collection, and it's really inspired me, the passion he has for them, to maybe get something of my own. Something a little easier though, maybe like a rosy boa, a water turtle, or maybe even like a chameleon or something. They're pretty cool. But we've come to the part of the show where you guys get to be involved, and Dan's been kind enough to send us some of his photos of his pets, and I've got some from our office staff also, but it's looking pretty bare. We want your guys' pets on our wall. If you guys want to be part of the show, tweet me at Producer Derek using the hashtag PetWorldInsider, and who knows, maybe on one of our future episodes, you'll see your awesome pets on our wall. But until next time, I'm Producer Derek, and I want to thank you all for being Pet World Insiders.